So I joined 2 months back now to head up what we've started calling as a client-facing group. So I head the worldwide client-facing group, which effectively is our existing very important customers, around 45 of them globally, but also the new business development globally, and finally a very, very important stakeholder, which is our partners or alliances. Because at the end of the day, a company like ours, we truly believe that we want to have a leverage model of having a partner ecosystem worldwide. My 18 years with Finacle, in those 18 years I practically covered all of the world, basically starting with Southeast Asia, moving on to Africa, and then Europe, and finally the Americas. And you realize that there are different characteristics of banks in different regions. So US banks are dealing with much bigger legacy. The systems don't talk to each other, they are mostly offline. While in a geography like Asia, where the banks almost missed one wave of technology, they have leapfrogged straight onto the latest technology of having a new generation core system, right? So they have their advantage, and that's why it's not a surprise that if you today really look at most of the banking innovation, it seems to come from places like India, banks like ICICI Bank or Axis Bank, who are our customers. They're doing great innovation. Banks in Poland, they're doing great innovation. Banks in Turkey. So there are different characteristics which we kind of bring, which we know, and there are different solutions which suit these different markets. Now the other thing that we realize is that changing a core banking system for a bank is not an easy journey. It's a multi-million pound decision. It takes anywhere upwards of 2 or 3 years to implement, and most importantly, it's an extremely risky thing to do, because in the banking world, unlike in any other business, the customers won't come back to you. If tomorrow an ATM doesn't work and he's not able to withdraw money, he's not likely to come back to you. So it's a very risky program. A lot of industry tends to say it's like changing the engine of Boeing 747 in mid-air. It's that risky. But what we realize here at SunTec is if banks can engage with the clients in a very flexible sort of manner, then maybe the core banking system can kind of wait for a full transformation. And what's happening in this whole digital world, the new world, and the world which is all API driven world, most banks are trying to extract the functionality out of their back office transaction system. Okay, instead of replacing them, if you start extracting functionality out, you kind of then have a situation where the core system becomes a system of record keeping, not a system of engagement, because the system of engagement needs to be working at a very different speed, right? Especially with the digital channels, etc., etc. So you can almost imagine that it is a two-speed highway. The system of engagement is an expressway, and we tend to come in there. We enable the banks to orchestrate customer experience and basically do product bundling, pricing, and create segment of one for every single customer of a bank. Allow the bank to do that. So let's say a family in India or wherever, and let's for a second assume there are 3 generations in the family who the bank is the potential to deal with, and the earning member of that family, the salaried member, has a savings account and a current account with the bank. Let's just say that they've kind of settled in well and they now decide to take a car loan. Okay, they can afford a car, and by the next 2 years they're able to afford a house and they take a house loan. Now while that is happening, you've created 5 products for that earning member of the family. Instead of seeing him or her as a single product relationship, you get all of this relationship together and have a conversation which is based on the worth of the customer. So you price the product based on the bundle. Now you throw in more things. So let's say take a generation which is an elder generation to the earning member. the grandfather or the father of the earning member is ready to actually invest in retirement products, right? So you throw in that into the whole mix. The son and the daughter of that earning member want to open a student's account because they're ready to go to the university. Now, for the bank to treat all of this as one family and create a product bundle in a relationship which is specific to them, it could go to the extent of, while the son, the student, is actually spending money on his credit card, the loyalty points are being accumulated on the earning member of the family, and vice versa. So that's the power of the engine. The product is a standard product, a standard solution, but it gives a bespoke conversation ability for every client, right? In any region today, the onslaught of fintech, for instance, is actually compelling the banks to look at a space like this. You know, how do you define customer centricity in the digital world, wherein, unlike in the past, let's say you're banking with me and I'm the bank. I would know all the historic transactions that you've done with me, and I'll probably know whether you're a profitable customer or not. Now, how do I, in a new digitized world where social media is being used by everybody, you're taking a mortgage from me this morning, okay? I'm granting the loan to you by the afternoon, but in the evening, you're actually busy on your Twitter or Facebook sending a message to your friends that you're packing bags and moving to Australia tomorrow morning. There's no way that me as a bank can get to know that. So I have a risk of a mortgage not being paid back if I'm not tapping into the unstructured data in the social media world, right? So, you know, an environment like this and the fintech companies who can offer you more flexible, better engagement models are compelling the banks to look at something like this. I mean, be it in Europe or in US or in Australia or Asia, every single bank is finding ways to basically have a very personalized conversation in this new world with a client. In Cybos this year, of course, so we've participated in Cybos for now 12 years now, I think. And we've always found great value in being here because one, it's the biggest banking event in the annual calendar globally. But second, because from our point of view, the kind of people who turn up here are all business people. Unlike a lot of conferences where you could have all mix of people, most of the people here are business people who are eager to have a conversation which is very business oriented. So our solution, since it's directly targeted towards business people, the product managers, the FIs, the correspondent banking guys, it makes tremendous sense for us.